choose. No daj, ok, dobre. Fligo je jediný, kto sa vyjadril na túto tému. Tak dáme jeden react. Jeden rýchly react. Má to 8 minút, čiže to prežijete to videjko. Ale je to fucking hilarious. Neviem, či za to náhodou nedostanem ban, lebo je to plné prdelí, fakt, ale... Nemôžem ináč, počkaj, to sú liked videos. Ja som chcel niečo iné. Ja som chcel, že watch later. Ja som sa preklikol. Tak, let's go.
I'm no meteorologist, but I'm still going to make a weather forecast for Twitch right now. I'm predicting a 100% chance of cloudy skies and rain, as the collective tears from...
Inak, pingvín všetko obkecá, ale dáva strašné hlášky, takže stojí to za to.
All of the gooners on Twitch fall and crash upon their desk in unison because Twitch just broke their hearts. They just announced the apocalypse, the doomsday. Or rather, the Coomsday, I suppose.
No, Twitch ohlásil Coomsday. Budú zase zakázané niektoré veci na Twitchi, ktoré boli kinda povolené doteraz, ale niektorí content creatori tlačili na pílu tak strašne moc, že Twitch zase musí meniť pravidlá.
Friday, March 29th, Twitch is adjusting their policy that will now outlaw content that focuses on intimate body parts for a prolonged period of time. It will no longer be allowed. In no uncertain terms, they drew a line in the sand and said, this is our domain expansion. The absence of booby and butthole. I doubt there's a single soul on this planet that's surprised by this decision from Twitch because of the blossoming trend on the platform where creators were trying to push the envelope of sexual content as far as they possibly could. I mean, for goodness sakes.
To je presne to, tlačili to do extrému, ale k tomu sa ešte dostaneme aj neskôr, pretože budú tu nejaké tie grafické zábery a potom možno vám skicári ešte čo si nakreslím.
We had the colonoscopy cam meta.
Kolonoskopy cam meta, hej no. Proste o toto ide. Vyslovene. Čiže pozrite sa, aký malý je gameplay. To ani nevidieť cez moju webku, ale toto je prosím pekne gameplay. Toto je main kamera s obrovským výstrihom a toto, čo je trošku mimo záberu, ale je to presne to, čo povedal Colonoscopy Cam, je záber na prdel v tangách, ale v poriadnych tangách. V podstate v takých tangách, že keď takýto máš čokoveniec, tak len takto je čiarka cez ten čokoveniec, takže asi tak. No.
Streamers were setting up.
Už sa to fakt nedá dohnať do väčšieho extrému pomaly.
At their chocolate starfish and put the bare minimum amount of fabric required to hide the hole, but you could still see all of the anal folds and everything. I mean, the asshole was still winking at you through the fabric. And I can't even use
Už
the
nebudú
word
holerite?
Uvidíme,
ale...
It was barely fabric. It was like a sliver of toilet paper that...
Ide o to, že Twitch zmenil pravidlá tým spôsobom, že ak to bude main content proste, že budeš mať kameru namierenú na svoju prdel, tak to nie je povolené. Ak to je main content, ak trebár sa objaví prdel na streame, tak je to I guess v pohode. Ale ak je to proste nosný element tvojho streamu, tak v tom prípade už to OK nie je. Takže to je to, čo Twitch mení v tých pravidlách.
Just got stuck there and was hanging on for dear life because it wasn't censoring like anything. But anyway, as you can imagine, this was extremely popular, tons and tons of viewers, and this kind of kicked off this arms race, this like nuclear arms race of Coomer content. So a lot of other creators started to try and find creative ways to deliver sexual content on Twitch. I made a follow-up video where another streamer made a green screen ass stream.
To je tiež strašne super. To som vám už ukazoval aj ja minulý týždeň niekedy, že proste nahodila bikiny zelené, čo je dobré pre virtuálne pozadie ako zelené plátno a na to hodila gameplay tiež. Geniálny nápad. Proste ako potešiť svojich kúmerov na streame a zároveň hodiť aj nejaký gameplay.
Where she would play a game and her ass was green screened, so the gameplay was only on her butt cheeks. And I'm not gonna lie, some of it was extremely creative, watching a lot of these women scramble to find loopholes to broadcast their poop holes on Twitch. I started to get inspired myself. I was theory crafting ways on how I could get involved. Started considering buying a...
Treba to zabanovať. Holerite vieme nájsť na milión iných stránkach. Kámo, ja si nemyslím, že to treba zabanovať, Beno, ale ja si myslím, že by to nemal byť doporučovaný content. Kľudne nech to je na Twitchi, ale nech ti to nikde nevyskakuje v doporučovaných veciach. Ak nemáš, ja neviem, follow na tom streame, alebo vyslovene, že aspoň 3 followy na podobných streamoch. Vyslovene by som to nezakazoval. Kľudne nech si zostanú na Twitchi. ale nech ich nedávajú do doporučovaných. To podľa mňa stačí. A tým pádom, kto sa na to nebude chcieť dívať, koho to nezaujíma a trebárs ani nevie, že to existuje, tak sa k tomu možno ani nedostane, vieš jak. A trebárs, ak sa k tomu dostane, tak si povie, že áno, toto je content, pre mňa hodí si tam follow a bude to mať v doporučených. Ak ho tam nehodí, tak to tam nebude mať. A nikdy viacej na to nemusí naraziť. Takže to si myslím ja, že zakazovať to nutne netreba.
Green dick sleeve so I could broadcast my Rainbow Six Siege gameplay on my erect penis. I was in the lab cooking. I was like a mad scientist, Cockenheimer. I was coming up with all kinds of interesting ideas, but ultimately didn't do anything with it. But since that last video I made on this subject, it's only continued to spiral more and more out of control, which has prompted Twitch's response here, which shuts down this entire branch of content. And if you've been paying attention on Twitch, some of the most popular streams over the last 10 or so days have been streams like these. I muted the audio on this clip because of the song
Neviem, či toto môžem púšťať, ale bolo to na Twitchi, takže asi je to v pohode.
The danger of this clip is the music, not so much the actual sexual content of it, because this is fine by Twitch's standards, or at least it was prior to their new announcement policy change. But this is the clear chair meta. So this is a streamer named Novaru. She's now showing off her hot tub, justifying her presence in the hot tubs category because one of Twitch's arbitrary rules is in order to be in a bikini, you need a hot tub nearby, even though you don't have to interact with it. And then she bought a clear chair and set up a camera underneath it so that way you can get the entire kit and caboodle package view here. She's got the triple camera setup here, so you're getting the fucking Dolby Theater experience of ass. It's like the cinematic camera when you drive a car in Grand Theft Auto 4, but the only shots you're getting are ass. This next clip I'm about to show you is from Asian Bunny X, but I can't...
Je docela problém, že ty si nie si schopen zablokovať niektorý content, aby si ho nevidel. Kvôli tomu hovorím, že keď už je rozhodnutie, že to zostáva na Twitchi, nech to nie je v doporučovaných kanáloch. Lebo momentálne doporučované môže byť hocičo. A pre Twitch to dáva zmysel, pretože to, čo trenduje a zarába peniaze, tak to bude ťahať viacej divákov a bude to zarábať viacej peňazí. Takže samozrejme, že Coomer content je potom doporučovaný. Ale niekde by proste mal urobiť Twitch tú líniu. Proste dajme tomu, nebude meniť pravidlá, ale urobí líniu, že proste tento Coomer content jednoducho doporučovaný nebude. Na to by potrebovali asi nejakú vyšperkovanejšiu AIčku, ako to má YouTube napríklad. A to zatiaľ Twitch veľmi nemá, lebo Twitch je technologicky v plienkách ešte stále, ale to je na inú diskusiu. Každopádne, hovorím, ten doporučovaný, to by vyriešil mnoho problémov.
Find the original
si myslím aspoň.
Or clips. I can only find Wubby's clip when he was going over it on stream, so I'm gonna play you Wubby reacting to it.
This is next level shit! I also admittedly recorded this for longer than I think I needed to. It's about a minute-long recording. Could have just been 10 minutes. I don't know.
Celkom moc,
listen, okay, I'm not sitting here hating on the ladies because I keep saying this, right? If they ain't banned, that's on Twitch, right? If they ain't banned, it's on Twitch. Twitch is saying it's allowed, right? That being said, I'm just gonna say this because I just have to. I feel like I'd be not honest with myself if I don't. Come on, bro. I mean, she got the automatic jiggler, bro.
This stream is blasting all of your senses here. It's a full-blown sensory overload. I can only imagine where she's going to be in a year from now once the gamer smell box comes out, which allows you to smell games. She could easily integrate that into her content here, where you can smell her, like her sweat. If she farts, you start huffing her fumes through the gamer scent box, like the sky is the limit. The future has...
Ideál, kámo, ideál zariadenie pre top kúmerov, ktorí chcú svoje kúmerstvo posunúť na ďalší level, kúpia si fartbox. Proste pripojíš si to doma, tvoj content creator bude mať opačnú stranu tej mašiny, kde bude dávať vstupy, aby si to aj cítil. To kúmerstvo a tebe pôjde výstup na tvojej strane, keď si to pripojíš do svojho USBčka. Perfektné, kámo, geniálny nápad. The future is here. Future is now, old man.
So she's standing on the automatic jiggler, which Wubby points out. So it's got her whole body vibrating and it's got her butt cheeks bouncing around like they're caught in some kind of perpetual earthquake simulation. She's oiled up with an extremely tight bikini on, which looks like some high-level armor out of an MMO, and it also functions as a green screen, which she's broadcasting a video, so that way your attention is always on her honkers, and her milkers happen to be jiggling around because she's on like...
Ja takedy nemôžem z toho prekladu, čo tam tá AIčka od Google píše. Celá tvoja pozornosť je na jej honkeroch a na jej dojíčoch.
Wave simulator, like she's on a surfboard constantly getting hit with turbulence or something. There's just so much going on. There's also Helldivers 2 gameplay somewhere on the screen there. I already forgot where, because nobody's attention is going to that when everything else is happening there. But yeah, you get the point. There was a bit of a problem on Twitch when it came to how much sexual content was starting to pop off there. So, Twitch...
Inak, ak ste si všimli, tak aj napriek tomu, že Twitch urgentne zmenil tie pravidlá, ale bolo chvíľku rozvoľnenie, bolo veľké rozvoľnenie, kedy Twitch povolil všetky tieto možné veci a odvtedy začal absolútny boom. To, že predtým Amouran doblizovala uši v bikinách, to je úplne nič oproti tomu, čo pred pár mesiacmi vypuklo po tom, čo Twitch rozvoľnil pravidlá. A bolo to iba na 3 dní, alebo 4 dní. A v momente ich urobili zase prísnejší, ale toľko coomer contentu sa vyrojilo, že Twitch sa zlakol proste a nebanoval to. A teraz tu máme to, čo sa deje. A proste zase musia meniť pravidla.
And said, okay, enough is enough.
Pekelní potápači, presne tak, Helldivers.
We've got to rein this in and get it under control. So they just made a blanket statement that any kind of content that focuses on intimate parts, that refers to breasts, that refers to butts, that refers to groins, anything that focuses on those areas for a prolonged period of time, which is a little vague, but I imagine it means like a matter of minutes, or if like there's an entire cam dedicated to your ass, it's not allowed. Period. Point blank. That is a bannable offense.
Oh.
As I mentioned, this isn't anything...
To je vlastne aj to, čo som hovoril predtým, že keď proste je tvoj main content, kamera namieraná na prdel, tak to nie je povolené a je to banovateľné, takže hej.
Super new. Since the very beginning of Twitch, there's always been this game of cat and mouse with sexual content and what is and is not allowed. And I'm not trying to go all old man on you here. I remember when they first invented Twitch titties. But I do remember back in the early days of Twitch, there was a policy that made it so gameplay had to be on screen in order for it to be allowed on Twitch. They didn't have a just chatting category. So if any creators wanted to do anything sexual, what they would do is they'd put a little RuneScape gameplay in the tiniest little box imaginable and just grind an AFK-able skill like woodcutting and make the primary camera cleavage. And then you know how the rest of this story goes. You know how that anime plays out. Eventually just chatting gets introduced and then eventually the...
No, v podstate platformu menili hlavne tieto veci, keď niekto hľadal spôsob, ako sa dostať na hranicu pravidiel. Ako v tomto prípade, keď just chatting sekcia ešte vôbec neexistovala a tie streamerky, keď chceli robiť sexuálny content, tak si dávali do úplne malých boxov, čo stále ešte frčí svojím spôsobom na Twitchi. Si dávali ten gameplay do úplne čo najmenších boxov, len aby bolo vidieť, že tam je a centrom záujmu bol výstrih alebo niečo iné, alebo prdel. A potom kvôli tomu vznikla just chatting sekcia. Takže je celkom dosť dobré možné, že aj táto coomer meta, ktorá momentálne prebieha, nejakým spôsobom posunie Twitch ďalej. A či to bude dobrým alebo zlým smerom, to ťažko povedať, ale vždycky sú to posuny, vieš, jak. Ono aj na internete alebo v technológiách je hlavným revolucionárom spúšťaní nových technológií a v ich využívaní, hlavne pornopriemysel. Proste porno stránky zavádzajú prvé vždycky nové technológie, ako ja neviem, 3D videá, proste nejaký algoritmus na toho, aké porno preferuješ a tak ďalej, takže možno to tak bude nakoniec aj na Twitchi.
Creation of the hot tubs category gets introduced, and now Twitch has been having a lot of issues with sexual content on the platform. They had that policy a couple months back where they just allowed full-blown hentai, which is just drawn porn. They were totally fine with drawn porn for like 24 hours before they were like, whoops-a-daisy.
Hey, no.
That was a bit
proste bol hentai povolený 24 hodín
to
na
this
Twitchi.
point where creators are starting to cross a line where it's getting to the point of like...
Takže vznikli kanály, ktoré 24 hodín denne púšťali hentai porno.
What kind of creative ways people will find to get around this policy change, because I don't think this is going to get rid of sexual content on Twitch overnight or anything. But I do wonder how they're going to navigate this now. I do think it's always going to be prevalent on Twitch because that content is so popular and there's so many people on Twitch. There's clearly a huge market for people digesting that kind of content with colonoscopy cam and all of that. So I'm just wondering what's next. How are they going to invent another meta post Twitch policy change here? And I guess we'll just have to wait and see. That's really about it. See ya.
Starting off the new year right with some huge news.
Okay. Každopádne, čo ja si myslím je, že už s tým kolonoskopikem ani veľmi nemajú kde posúvať metu, takže si myslím, že toto už bude všetko. Si myslím, že toto už končíme, ďalej to už nepôjde posunúť, pretože Twitch jednak bude robiť pushback, pôjde im naproti a bude tlačiť proti tomuto coomer contentu. Druhá vec je, že niekde sa to zlomí proste a zostane status quo a už sa to neposunie ďalej. Ja myslím si, že už sme to dosiahli a maximálne čo bude, že sa to trošku dostane do väčšieho úzadia, že Twitch proste to zatlačí. Anyway, toč vsio. Dík za pozornosť.